Welcome to your Gemini horoscopes for the week ending May 18th, beginning with Mother's Day. Happy birthday to all the Gemini mamas out there. Hope you guys have a wonderful day celebrating. And if you can't celebrate with your kids, enjoy a day to yourselves and maybe even take yourself out, you know, spoil yourself a little bit, celebrate your motherhood. I know it's very difficult. A lot of people have are in situations where they just can't be with their kids for whatever reason, and that makes the day really difficult. So take some time, celebrate yourself, treat yourself, celebrate your own motherhood. It's may not be the same as spending it with your children, but it sure as heck beats being angry all day long, which we've all been there from time to time. There's no planets in Gemini this week. We had some moon action last week, so we're done with that. Focus is on your support system, those that support you, which is interesting because of the fact that it's Mother's Day, actually. In many cases, especially when you have children that they have their own families right now, and you got children who are focused on either their own Mother's Day or their spouse's significant other's Mother's Day instead of yours. It does actually feel like you don't have a support system. One of the things, though, that's interesting about that to me is that a lot of times when people are in that situation, a lot of times when I've been in that situation, it feels like nobody is there to support me at all. But it's actually because the person that I want to be there isn't there. So it's not that I don't have a support system, because trust me, I do have a humongous support system. Actually, I'm very, very blessed to have a humongous support system. But the person that I'm focused on in that moment is not there to support me. And therefore, I have convinced myself that I have no support system. There are so many weird things that we human beings do to make ourselves miserable, or to amplify situations that are difficult for us or frustrate us. And we amplify that frustration in so very, very, very many different ways. And this week, it's really important to try and, one, identify when you're doing that, and two, stop. Just stop. It's not worth your time. It's not going to help you feel better. It's not going to motivate you to change the situation. It's not going to do anything for you. And Geminis, while Geminis are not exactly emotional human beings, they're mentally emotional human beings. So what happens is that you get your thought of something that's making you angry, and you hold on to it. It becomes the hamster wheel inside your head. This is what racing is called, where you're just constantly flipping over and over and over in this scenario, and you can't seem to mentally let it go. That gets in the way of you being able to focus on everything else in your life, and it becomes an excuse as to why you didn't actually follow through with the things that you were supposed to follow through with or wanted to follow through with, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You can avoid all of that by simply not doing it. And I know it's difficult. I'm not a Gemini, but I have said before I'm an Aquarius. We're very similar. Literally weeks. I have literally been going through this for weeks now, months, years, over a situation that I'm not happy with, and I just want it to change, but I have no control over anybody else. And I can't force them to do what I want them to do, even though I would like to be able to. I can't force anybody to do what I want them to do. So it comes down to me. What am I going to do to fix my problem? Because I can't rely on other people to fix my problem for me, or even fix their problem so that I can fix my problem. I have to focus my energy on what can I do with what I have in front of me, and pretty much leave it at that. The other thing that is interesting that it's really not going to be affecting you guys this week, but it is coming, and that is Jupiter. He is 28 degrees in Taurus, which means within the next week or two, we are going to have Jupiter entering Gemini, and we are going to have Jupiter for the next year or so. Now, the next, of course, we're also going to have the sun moving into Gemini next week, and we're moving full on into Gemini season. So things are actually really starting to pick up in terms of planetary activity moving through Gemini, and not just regular planetary activity, but for the next year at least. And then after that, probably not this year, but in the next couple of years, we will have Uranus moving into Gemini, which is a 7-year commitment at least. So lots of things are starting to move with you guys. This is why I think it's really important to take the time that you have now to get out of your own way, to get out of your own spinning your wheels thing, because that's what intellectuals do. You're either brilliantly out there inventing the next big thing that everybody's going to have for the end of time, or you're sitting and spinning, and that's what you want to get out of. You want to get yourself out of that sit and spin, because it's not helping you. If anything, it is stopping you from moving forward, and you want to try and avoid anything that is going to stop you from moving forward. So that's what I have for you guys this week. I'm Melissa Bruce, the Heavy Metal Psychic. I will see you guys next week. You guys have a wonderful Mother's Day, all mothers out there. Remember, celebrate regardless of whether the kids are there. Celebrate regardless of whether your spouse decides to actually do something for you. You know, a lot of times they fall short. Even though we put on a huge production every year. I know. Been there, done that, wrote the book on it, guys. Okay. But enjoy your celebration and enjoy your day nonetheless. And I will see you guys next week. You guys make sure that you make it a great week. And I'll see you next week.